Dealers are slashing prices by $30, $50, even $70,000 on these 20 motorhomes as nobody is buying them.
An RV campground in Lake Country with sweeping lakeside views.
Lots are getting cleared fast. What used to sell in days now sits for months, collecting dust and interest. Rows of shiny rigs now stand as monuments to a market that's run out of momentum. This isn't just a sale, it's a silent collapse. In this video, you'll see why these motorhomes are stuck, how deep the markdowns really go, and when smart buyers are waiting to strike before the next wave of price cuts hits. Thor Windsport. There is a quiet story unfolding on dealership lots across the country, and it starts with the Thor Windsport. A few months ago, these motorhomes wore proud price tags near $179,900. Today, some dealers are begging to move them for around $139,995. That is a drop of $40,000, yet buyers still walk away. Why? Because once the test drive begins, the illusion ends. The big windshield shakes, the steering feels loose, the gas gauge falls fast, about 6 miles per gallon on a good day. Dealers call it affordable luxury, but owners call it storage cost on wheels. Every passing week adds another month of floor plan interest, another reason for deeper markdowns. And if that stings, the next model shows how even legendary names are now losing their shine. Winnebago Adventurer. Once a proud highway icon, the Winnebago Adventurer now tells a different story, one written in dust and discount tags. Just last season, dealers posted these motorhomes at $231,000. Today, listings linger near $178,000, still untouched after 180 days on the lot. Walk inside, and you feel it immediately. Heavy cabinets, square corners, and colors from another decade. On paper, it should deliver comfort. On pavement, it drives like a school bus fighting crosswinds. The fuel gauge drops faster than confidence, averaging barely 8 miles per gallon. For buyers watching every dollar, that math no longer works. Dealers cut deeper, but time keeps bleeding value. And if the Adventurer can fade this fast, the next coach shows how the middle market is collapsing from both ends. Coachman Freelander. Step onto almost any dealer lot, and you will spot it, the Coachman Freelander, lined up in neat rows beneath banners promising adventure made easy. Yet those banners hide a problem no discount can erase. Units once listed for $129,995 now sit marked down to just above $101,000. Even with that $28,000 cut, buyers hesitate, open the door, and the story explains itself. Upholstery patterns whisper early 2000, not modern comfort. Cabinets rattle. The ride feels jittery, and every fill-up empties wallets at roughly 7 miles per gallon. Families compare notes, then drift toward newer, quieter competitors. Dealers trim another 1,000, hoping movement returns. It does not. And if nostalgia fails to sell the Freelander, the next coach reveals what happens when ambition overshoots reality entirely. Coachman Mirada. Some stories fade quietly. The Coachman Mirada's collapse is anything but quiet. Dealers once asked $195,000 for these motorhomes. Now, they whisper offers near $146,000 just to clear floor plan debt. Step inside, and the conflict becomes obvious. Plush chairs promise comfort, yet road tests tell another tale. Harsh sway, dashboard rattle, and steering that hunts its lane. Fuel economy hovers around 6 miles per gallon, draining wallets faster than weekends refill them. For newcomers dreaming of a smooth entry into Class A travel, the Mirada feels more like tuition paid to disappointment. Dealers slice prices deeper each month, but buyers sense fatigue behind the shine. And if a mid-tier gas coach this visible cannot hold ground, the next model shows how the smaller rigs are falling even faster. If you're finding these dealer secrets eye-opening, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Tell me which motorhome shocked you most so far. Your insight fuels these investigations. Winnebago Solis Pocket. The dream of simple travel meets a harsh invoice in the Winnebago Solis Pocket. Dealers once praised it as the minimalist ticket to freedom, listing around $98,000. 6 months later, those same vans sit at $76,500 and counting down. Step inside, and the truth is smaller than the photos suggest. A fold-up bed, a compact galley, and a portable toilet replace the comfort most travelers expect. Insulation is thin, summer heat wins, and winter trips demand thick blankets. Without a full bathroom or serious storage, it fits weekend minimalists only, at a price that no longer fits the market. Dealers Dealers slash deeper, hoping movement returns, but few want a 3-season van costing near 6 figures. And if compact disappointment stinks, the next design proves that confusion can cost even more. Gulfstream BT Cruiser. Every dealer calls it the in-between solution, yet the Gulfstream BT Cruiser sits stuck in neutral. Last year, it hovered near $139,000. Now, listings crawl around $108,000, gathering dust beside full-size Class C rigs that cost only a little more. It is marketed as a B-plus motorhome, smaller, sleeker, smarter, but the math does not add up. It is too bulky for solo travelers chasing van agility and too tight for families wanting real space. Ride comfort feels uneven, cabinets hum over every bump, and resale confidence has faded to silence. Dealers keep trimming another 1,000, but shoppers still scroll past. This middle child of the highway never found its home, and when blurred identity kills momentum, the next crossover design pays an even steeper price. Thor Axis. The Thor Axis tried to be everything at once and ended up lost in translation. Dealers once celebrated its clever crossover pitch, a compact Class A look with Class C size. But by spring, prices slid from $167,000 down to $124,000, and still the rows remain. On paper, it promises maneuverability and comfort. On pavement, it feels tight, loud, and restless. The shorter wheelbase twitches in wind, and the cabin echoes with every mile. Shoppers expecting spacious luxury discover a lounge the size of a hallway. For that money, most pivot toward full Class C builds with real elbow room and softer suspension. Floor plan interest keeps piling while dust collects on windshields. And if confusion hurt the Axis, the next overstocked lineup proves too many options can drown a brand completely. Forest River Sunseeker. Across dealership yards from Oregon to Ohio, the Forest River Sunseeker lines up like a stalled parade. Discounts shout $35,000 off, yet the silence of unsold engines tells the real story. Dealers ordered too many trims, too many floor plans, all at nearly the same sticker, around $155,000 after markdowns. Buyers walk in, compare 2 units side by side, and cannot tell which is supposed to be the premium one. Materials shift from soft touch to plastic between identical price tags. Confusion kills confidence, and confidence kills sales. Each month, the floor plan interest ticks higher, forcing deeper cuts and thinner margins. The Sunseeker's problem is not mechanics, it is identity overload. And when choice becomes chaos, the next coach proves that paying more for the same thing can feel even worse. Integra Odyssey. Walk into any showroom and you will see it. The Integra Odyssey, shining under spotlights like a promise of premium comfort. But step closer, and the illusion starts to fade. Dealers once listed these at $155,000. Now, the same units sit at $124,000 after months of markdowns. Buyers quickly discovered that the Odyssey shares nearly every screw and cabinet with its lower-priced twin, the Jayco Redhawk. Same layout, same fixtures, same handling. Only the badge changed, not the build. That realization spread fast across owner forums, and sales collapsed just as quickly. Dealers now pitch loyalty points, fuel cards, anything to move them. Paying more for sameness rarely ends well. And as this premium badge stumbles, the next discontinued model reveals just how fast value can vanish altogether. Winnebago Fuse. The Winnebago Fuse entered the market with quiet confidence and left with quieter sales. Built on the Ford Transit diesel chassis, it promised European efficiency and nimble handling. Yet within just a few short years, production stopped. Dealers who once asked $128,000 now whisper offers near $89,000. Desperate to clear leftover stock. The Fuse's biggest flaw was proportion, narrow corridors, tight storage, and a price that overlapped larger, more comfortable coaches. Add diesel costs climbing past $4 a gallon, and interest vanished. Owners worry about discontinued parts and uncertain resale, forcing hesitation across the board. On paper, it was smart. In reality, it was stranded. And as the Fuse fades from the lots, the next model shows how bold design can turn into financial deadweight even faster. Thor Outlaw. The Thor Outlaw was built to turn heads. A bold fusion of living space and garage meant for motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles, and adventure gear. But the applause has faded. Dealers who once demanded $240,000 now post prices around $199,000. And still the stock sits untouched. That rear garage, once its signature feature, steals too much room from the living area, leaving buyers with less comfort for more cost. The added weight drags fuel economy down to single digits, and handling feels sluggish even on open roads. Families chasing comfort skip it entirely, while toy haulers prefer true trailers. Now, those wide rear doors open mostly for dust and disappointment. And if the Outlaw's bold gamble missed its mark, the next so-called luxury van reveals that compact excess can hurt just as much. Coachmen Beyond. Step into the Coachmen Beyond, and at first glance it feels like a luxury jet set on four wheels. Built on the Ford Transit chassis, it promised refinement for the road warrior who wanted style without bulk. But luxury has limits, and this one found them fast. Dealers once priced the Beyond near $159,000. Now it lingers at $129,000, waiting for buyers who rarely arrive. The interiors look elegant, yet space disappears the moment two people climb aboard. There is no true bathroom comfort, little storage, and almost no breathing room. Travelers compare it to larger Class C coaches that offer twice the space for similar payments. The verdict is quiet but certain. Beauty without practicality does not sell. And if sleek minimalism stalled here, the next budget Class A hits an even harder wall. If you want to stay ahead of these market shifts and never overpay again, hit subscribe now. The next video reveals hidden markdown dates dealers don't want public. Fleetwood Flair. The Fleetwood Flair once carried the promise of a gateway into Class A travel, simple, sturdy, and built for newcomers. But that promise has dimmed under fluorescent lot lights. Dealers originally asked $179,000. Now, the same coaches sit reduced to $138,000, some parked for over 210 days. Step inside, and you understand the hesitation. The cabinets feel hollow, the trim lifts at corners, and the ride sways like a ferry crossing rough water. At highway speed, every gust of wind turns into a steering correction. Buyers sense fatigue in both design and delivery. They walk away, leaving more interest costs for the dealers who misread demand. And as the Flair loses its footing, the next mid-tier competitor proves that even a familiar name cannot hide outdated ambition. Forest River Georgetown 3 Series. There is a fine line between affordable and forgettable, and the Forest River Georgetown 3 Series crosses it every time. Dealers once listed these gas-powered motorhomes near $189,000. Now, heavy discounts drag them down to $156,000, yet buyers remain unmoved. On paper, it should be the easy gateway into Class A comfort. In person, it feels like a cost-cutting exercise on wheels. The cabinetry looks plain, the flooring echoes underfoot, and the steering leaves newcomers gripping tight against highway sway. Nothing breaks outright, but nothing impresses either. That middle ground mediocrity kills excitement and confidence in equal measure. Even with deep markdowns, they sit month after month collecting dust. And if the Georgetown proves bland can sink a sail, the next family coach shows that fine is now failure in disguise. Jayco Redhawk Special Edition. It was meant to be the safe family motorhome, but that promise now hurts it. Dealers once listed them near $134,000. Today, signs show $109,000, with freebies added for attention. Inside, thin cabinetry flexes, storage feels limited, and every surface signals cost cutting. It drives fine, but never feels special. Buyers comparing payments see better comfort for just a little more. That simple math kills sales. Dealers now discount loyalty, but buyers are gone. Heritage once sold trust. Now it only reminds shoppers how far the Redhawk has fallen. Coachman Leprechaun. It once stood as a trusted name for families chasing weekend comfort without breaking the bank. But that trust is wearing thin. Dealers who once asked $128,000 now list them for about $103,000. Yet the parking rows stay full. Step through the side door, and the reason greets you in every corner. The floor plans feel cramped, storage runs shallow, and the interior trim looks unchanged from rigs built a decade ago. Competing models like the Thor 4 Winds or the Winnebago Mini Winnie offer fresher designs at nearly the same payment. Buyers notice that instantly. What was once reliable now feels overpriced for what it delivers. Discounts keep stacking, but loyalty no longer saves it. And as that loyalty fades, the next Class A coach shows how even tradition can turn into hesitation overnight. Holiday Rambler Admiral. Once a symbol of upper-tier craftsmanship, the Holiday Rambler Admiral now sits quietly under discount banners that tell a harsher truth. Dealers who once bragged about price tags of $205,000 now beg attention at $164,000. The name still commands respect, but the experience no longer does. Step inside, and the illusion unravels. Flat panel cabinets, dated trim, and a cockpit that feels a decade behind the times. On the road, the heavy chassis strains up mild grades, its gas engine growling while the mileage sinks towards 6 miles per gallon. Buyers expected refinement. They found repetition. The Admiral's loyal base is aging, and newcomers see more value elsewhere. For all its heritage, it now anchors the clearance row. And if prestige can sink this fast, the next budget contender shows just how steep the fall can be. Jayco Elante. This one walks a tightrope between ambition and affordability, and it is starting to wobble. Dealers once pushed these motorhomes at $147,000, but the latest listings hover closer to $120,000. Even with that $27,000 drop, buyers hesitate. Step inside, and you see why. The furniture feels thin, the storage limited, and the insulation leaves highway noise echoing through every panel. It looks polished in photos but feels hollow on the lot. Families test drive once, then slide their interest toward better insulated models with stronger resale. The Elante's charm ends where its price begins. Dealers now offer fuel cards and service credits, hoping to sweeten the deal, but perception is power, and as this model struggles, the next one shows that even recognizable names can lose buyer faith overnight. Forest River FR3. It once promised the perfect bridge between a compact footprint and full-size comfort. For a brief season, it worked. Dealers moved units fast at $189,000. Then complaints arrived. Ride noise, cabinet rattle, and loose trim began stacking across owner forums. Today, those same coaches list at $159,000, still parked after half a year. Fuel economy drops near 6 miles per gallon, while monthly payments rival far better built competitors. Even steep rebates and bundled maintenance offers cannot repair a reputation built on fatigue. Buyers test drive once and step away, unwilling to gamble that kind of money on an uncertain finish. The FR3 is proof that half measures please no one, and as its inventory drags on, the final model shows just how deep this slowdown truly runs. Thor Chateau. This were built to rule the family travel market. Affordable, efficient, dependable. Instead, they define stalled sales. Dealers once listed them at $128,000. 4 months later, tags read $93,000, yet dust gathers on their steps. The compact design feels cramped and underbuilt. Beds run short, showers tighter. Storage disappears after packing for 2. Fuel economy stays near 8 miles per gallon, turning road trips into regret. Dealer lots overflow with unsold units, forcing desperate discounts. Once a symbol of value, the Chateau now represents fatigue and fading buyer confidence. The market's shifting faster than anyone expected, and the smartest buyers aren't rushing. They're watching. Every markdown tells a story. Every deal hides a warning. Learn the difference, protect your wallet, and travel smarter. Subscribe now, because the next wave of discounts is already forming, and knowing when to strike could save you more than money.